Meno Warriors, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate Hartley and I share a video with you every Monday about something related to menopause. Today I'm talking about something that I think is a huge positive, particularly if you are already active, or indeed if you're thinking, I can't do loads of cardio, it makes me feel nauseous, I hate running, I feel like I'm setting off an earthquake each time my feet hit the pavement. It's exactly how I used to feel too. And you are starving yourself and nothing is working. So I'm going to be going into why we gain weight, but also the really great things that you can do to actually burn fat more effectively. It is about talking about burning fat and getting stronger. We're not talking about getting skinnier, because that is not necessarily healthy either. Both extremes of the scale are not healthy. We want to be somewhere in the middle where you've got loads of energy, your hormones are balanced, you feel vital, you feel fulfilled, you feel like you're in control of your life, and that's what I'm going to cover today. Many women, as we go through perimenopause, you may not even know that you're in perimenopause yet. When it happened to me, I had no idea. I was young. I'd gone through the whole lot by the age of about 41. So I can't remember, I was there for a normal health check and the nurse said, oh no, you're not perimenopause, because I was having terrible, terrible night sweats. And I had noticed weight gain, but I didn't really think I'd mention it to the nurse, because why would I? I just thought, oh, I'll just starve myself more and I'll work out harder. At that time, I was swimming between 3 and 4 miles a week fast. I trained with a triathlete who later went on to win one of the Iron Woman championships. So we were training hard. I was also trying to run, and I was doing my own sort of mixed up. I was watching YouTube. YouTube's great, but I was piecing together bits of workouts, and it just was not working properly. I was probably spending about 90 minutes on hula hooping, strength training, trying to run and that sort of thing most days of the week, as well as restricting what I was eating, and it was thoroughly miserable. And the worst thing about that was I kept on gaining weight and I just felt yuck. So what is normal is that most women, they start to gain particularly belly fat. You may not realize it's associated with perimenopause, but it's likely that it is. As our estrogen levels fall, sex hormones fall in general, so progesterone, testosterone, estrogen, but largely estrogen is the main one we're going to be talking about. As estrogen falls, cortisol rises, and cortisol as stress hormone, as that rises, it spikes our insulin, which is our fat storing hormone. So you've got several things going on. So estrogen falls. That brings with it an array of, you start to feel more fatigued, you might have hot flushes, your sleep is interrupted, you may have that crushing anxiety. I also so struggled with that. That was awful. And I'm an anxiety specialist. I'm a flipping psychotherapist. And at least I knew how to combat it. Deep breathing is a great one to start with, and also regular workouts, because that helps get rid of stress hormones and fills your body with feel-good hormones. But it was horrible when it happened. And you might also find your arms are getting more flabby. I mean, as we get older, skin droops. So, you know, I've noticed I have more droopy skin, but that's full of muscle as well. It's full of triceps. But it does droop. Everything droops. Our skin gets older. We all get older. The great thing about what I'm going to share today is that you can eat more and boost your metabolism, feel fantastic, get the energy, and really feel like you're in control. So why are you gaining belly fat? Well, we have 4 times the amount of cortisol receptors around our belly than we do in any other part of the body. That is why, largely, through perimenopause and beyond, you might notice that you've got more weight gain around the middle than in any other part of the body. The other thing to bear in mind is that as our cortisol levels rise, cortisol in small amounts is anti-inflammatory. It's a really important part of a healthy, functioning body. But because of that falling estrogen and the rising cortisol, it can have a breaking down, a sort of a catabolic effect on the body, which is why we are at increased risk of brittle bone disease, why your muscles are atrophying. So you may have cellulitis, probably not cellulitis, probably muscle atrophy, and why we can get droopy arms, and, you know, our skin just starts to droop more, a tighter waistband, unless you've got pretty much zero body fat. If you've got a tighter waistband, because your skin's getting a bit more saggy, you might see skin over the top, over your bra line, you might see skin starting to bulge over the top of that. Let's be realistic about where we're at. The fact, I don't even know if you've seen on the news, the fake news, I don't even know what it's called, fake heads, whatever they are. Fake AI is like creating these fake faces that go onto bodies of normal women. I mean, they can borrow my body if they want, if they pay me for it. I don't care. They can put fake head on me. They can put my head on Alan McPherson's body. I don't mind at all. But, you know, we are surrounded by social media and airbrushing and now this fake, deep fake, that's the word, isn't it? Deep fake stuff and artificial intelligence. And it's becoming even further removed from what is actually normal. It is normal to get older and wrinklier and saggier and as if our society wasn't geared up so much about the beauty of youth. And yes, of course, youth is beautiful, it's vital, it's vibrant, but also getting older can be beautiful. And where we're at, we've survived this long. We're bloody lucky, because there's a lot of youngsters that have not survived this long. So I think we just have to take it in our stride and accept the fact that, yes, we are getting older and wrinklier and saggier, but we're still alive, and there's still an awful lot of things that we can do with purpose and meaning that contribute to the world and our families and our own lives too. So off my soapbox for a few minutes. The other thing to remember, as well as cortisol having a catabolic effect, breaking down effect on your muscles and your bones, because it spikes your insulin, it does give you that tendency to increase weight overall. So it might not just be around your belly, you might be noticing around your back, you could be just noticing it everywhere, around your face. Some people carry more fat in different areas. I just want to cover quickly spot reducing fat. You cannot really do it. So while we do tend to increase more around our belly as we go through the menopause, if you're there thinking, well, I'm just going to go and do loads of crunches, you'll create abs, but they'll still be covered by fat. What you eat has a huge impact on, your body fat and also your belly fat. Starving yourself and overdoing the cardio is one of the reasons why you are probably putting on belly fat. So metabolism slows down as we go through menopause, partly because of that cortisol, the breaking down effect on our muscles. When we've got less muscle mass, it has a negative impact on our metabolic rate. So when our metabolism is firing off well, when we've got plenty of lean, strong muscle, we burn up more calories. It's also interesting to know that a decent half-hour, decent strength training program, you will burn up more calories in a 24-hour period than ever you will after a heavy-duty cardio session. Strength training really is where it's at. And one of the reasons why I think it is such a great thing to know about this as we go through the menopause is the fact, if you are trying to lose weight and you're trying to keep fit in menopause, you can eat more to help you lose weight, and you can work out for less but be more intentional with it. You do sort of have to have faith in the process. When I first started to eat more, I was following a nutritional system, and I just looked at it and thought, oh my God, there's just so much food to eat. And can I eat it? Do I really want to eat it all? And is it going to have an effect? I could not believe it. I really enjoyed eating. All of a sudden, food became really pleasurable again, rather than this thing of almost like having a battle with several times a day. We have to eat. And every time I went into the kitchen, it was just like, oh, I don't know what to eat. I'm starving. What should I have? And so you just eat something small, and it's not particularly satisfying. And actually, it's not ticking the sort of the macro nutrients that you need in order to be healthy and keep your metabolism revved up. And it became really rather miserable. Plus, I wasn't getting the results. So when you start to eat more, yes, you have to have a bit of faith in the system, but it works. It's worked for hundreds of thousands of people, probably even millions of women now. And in fact, I'm actually running if you're watching this when I publish it, I'm running a 3-day free Macro Makeover group, and it's just going to be helping you understand portion sizes and how to balance your macros for optimal fat burning potential. You'll also get access to some free workouts, some really, really cool free workouts, the workouts that I do to keep myself fit. So if you wanted to be part of that free group, you can just click the link in the description box below. And if you're too late for the actual free group, then I will also, it'll send out the same information to you by email. So at least you get the benefit of that. And then when I run the next free group around nutrition, then I can let you know about that if you wanted to be included in that rotation. So just bear that in mind. Nutrition can be very confusing. It's actually much more simple than you probably think it is. But just going back to spot reduction of fat, you can't really do that. Like I say, you can build abs, and if you are doing various abs workouts, make sure you're working all aspects of the abs. You need your upper abs engaged, you need your lower abs, you want to be bringing in your obliques, you really want to be focusing on the entire core, because pretty much every single movement comes from our core. I had an umbilical hernia a few years back. It was an emergency surgery because my what's it called, small intestine had popped through my my belly button hole. And God, I mean, I knew everything came from the core, but blimey, O'Reilly, once I'd had that done, it's just like almost like wiggling your little finger made it hurt. So everything comes from our core. You really need to make sure that you are keeping a firm core, but spot reduction, spot exercising will not help you spot reduce fat. You'll just create nice muscles underneath the fat. But then when you start to eat the right types of food, that will help you burn fat more effectively. It will boost your metabolism, which will give you energy. To also boost, when you're doing strength training, it boosts your HGH, your human growth hormone. That is the, well, they call it the elixir of youth. I mean, it's not really the elixir of youth, in all honesty, but I mean, who knows? Blimey, I'm 53. Maybe I'd look like I was 75 by now if I wasn't doing strength training workouts. So there is something very rejuvenating about incorporating the right kind of strength exercises. The other thing I really want to say about this is the good thing about staying fit and healthy and trying to, eating more to lose weight in menopause is the fact that a lot of us are put off by fitness. I don't know about you, but cardio for me, I'm not a great cardio fan. First, we think to lose weight, we have to just get out there and pound the streets. That is not the case at all. You might actually be contributing to your belly fat by doing that, because you're breaking down the muscle that you really want to be building up. So long distance running does break down your muscle. If long distance running is something that you're absolutely passionate about and it's working well for you and you're not getting belly fat, or you're getting belly fat and you're happy with it, stick with it. I think the most important thing to take from anybody's video advising you of stuff is to make sure that you enjoy what you do. I like heavy duty strength training sessions. I work with a lot of women who prefer the lighter weight strength training sessions, so the sort of the bar or the Pilates type strength training. I do those, I enjoy them, but I really, really enjoy the heavy duty strength training ones. I think it's really important to have a good mix of stuff that you're doing, because it works your muscles in slightly different ways, challenges your brain in slightly different ways. The bar and the Pilates ones tend to be much more balance based as well, so you're improving your stability that way. So they all have something that's beneficial about them, which is why it's important to mix things up. But I think one of the biggest things that intimidates most women from starting fitness is the fact that they don't want to feel nauseous. They don't want to have that horrible feeling of being so winded that you can't go on. You're pouring in sweat, you're bright red, you just feel vile. And that would put me off fitness too. So the great thing about strength training is, yes, it's probably going to make you hotter, it's going to make you more sweaty. A good strength training program is also a cardio workout. It's just not the sort of cardio that's going to contribute to belly fat. And it's not the sort of cardio that's going to make you feel like vomiting on the floor, like a lot of cardio sessions do. It's also important that you are eating a wide balance of macronutrients. So macronutrients are various food groups, fats, lean proteins and carbohydrates. When we talk about carbohydrates as a macro, we're talking also about fruits and vegetables, as well as the pastas, the rice, that sort of thing. You want to be eating a wide range of fruits, vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats. Healthy fats are going to be your best friend. We need healthy fats. A lot of people say, I've gone completely zero fat. It's just like, why are you doing that? We need healthy fats. You don't want to be cutting out carbs either. Carbs give us energy. Carbs are a vital part of a healthy diet. And when I talk about carbs there, I'm talking about, your potatoes, your butternut squash, your sweet potatoes, those sorts of things. Wholemeal bread, whole grain bread. It's the refined stuff and the processed stuff you want to be eliminating or reducing. And again, you hear people say, well, just cut out sugar, cut out processed food. Yes, if you wanted to be like this lean, amazing bikini model robot type person, yes, you would want to do that. But if you just want to be a healthy, strong, vibrant, confident, middle-aged woman or beyond, or younger, depends when you're starting your menopause, you want some life balance. I love drinking red wine. If somebody said to me, oh, you've got to stop drinking red wine straight away, it's just, oh, bugger off. No, I enjoy my red wine. And by incorporating lifestyle, healthy nutrition and strength training around the things that you enjoy too, healthy treats, you can have your pizza, you can have your pasta, you can have the bits that make it special to you. It's understanding how often and how much of those things that you have. It's about making sure that you're not overdoing it on those things too often. And that's why balancing your macros and understanding portion control is such an important part of healthy nutrition, because you'll find that when you're eating healthy food, you can eat more healthy food than you can the ultra processed food, because it's much lower in calories. If it's real food, you can probably eat a lot more of it. But also, if you're eating too much of one particular food, if you eat too many greens or too much salad, once your body's had what it needs, the rest gets stored as fat. So we can overeat on anything, but you're unlikely to eat, if you have an apple, how often do you go back and think, oh, I've got to go and eat the whole pack? Whereas with a biscuit or a cookie or a Bertie Bassett, I love licorice all sorts, or something along those lines, it's just, oh, I think I'm going to have another one, and then all of a sudden you've eaten the whole pack. It's because they're addictive, because they're full of the stuff that we shouldn't really be putting into our bodies. So it's about being realistic, understanding what your specific goals are, but also understanding this is for life. So you want it to be enjoyable. You want it to be something that you can lean into and really embrace every single day, and then carry with you through the rest of your life, so that the rest of your life is spent feeling confident and energized, well balanced, and that you know that what you're doing for your body is working for your body. Next thing I would just want to mention is stress management, because stress is largely responsible for belly fat. So even if you're doing everything right, but you've got a lot of stress in your body, so you might be eating all the healthy stuff, you might be drinking loads of water, you may even be able to sleep well, because sleep has a profound effect on your belly fat too. If you sleep well, chances are it's going to go down, and you can notice it overnight. If you have a poor night's sleep, your belly will measure bigger in the morning than if you've had a good night's sleep. But stress, if you've got high stress in your job, in your marriage, where you live, if it's unsafe, that is going to be a constant battle for you in order to keep belly fat at bay. Too much stress is inflammatory. And just going back to hormones again, as estrogen falls and cortisol rises, another reason for that is because the adrenal glands back at the job of the ovaries. So when our ovaries go into retirement, which they do as we go through menopause, because we can't get pregnant, so we don't need to keep laying eggs. When our ovaries go into retirement, the adrenal glands do the job of the ovaries, if they are in good health. But for the vast majority of us, our adrenal glands are not great. We're stressed already. And which is why, I would almost go so far as to say, if your stress management and if your life is pretty stress-free, not necessarily stress-free, but you can manage your stress effectively, because to be quite honest, we can't control what goes on out there to a degree. But if you can manage it well, you shouldn't really be having serious menopause symptoms, or indeed any at all. I believe really strongly in that. And I think there'll be other people who have also strong opinions the other way. Working with the ladies that I work with, having done it myself completely HRT free, I have nothing against HRT. And also people say to me, oh, if I take HRT, it'll help me lose weight. Not necessarily. I spoke to a lot of ladies who started to take HRT and they actually gained weight. However, it did give them the motivation and the enthusiasm and the energy to think, right, now I need to make a few changes. So then they improved their nutrition, and they committed to a strength training program. So it's not a cure-all, and it doesn't suit everyone, and not everybody wants to take it. So I have no strong opinions either way. I don't take it. I've never had to take it, and I don't intend to take it. So yeah, again, that's your choice. There is no judgment one way or the other. We get all these little keyboard warriors, just peace, manage that stress. We don't need more stress in our lives. If what you're doing is working for you, stick with it. That's the most important thing. There are so many polarizing views out there. At the end of the day, this is just about being a human being. It's eating real food as often as you can and not eating too much of it. But if you can prepare the majority of your food from home, we're all busy. We've all got that time excuse. Make time for your food. It's like having a racehorse. You wouldn't feed it a load of rubbish if you wanted it to win the races. The same applies to your body. The more rubbish you put in it, the more sluggish it's going to be, the more of a negative impact it's going to have on your hormones. And also just be aware of the fact that if you are overweight, fat also creates its own estrogen. And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's good because I need more estrogen. No, you don't. You're already estrogen dominant, because as your hormones are falling, your progesterone and your testosterone fall faster than your estrogen does. So you want the ratios to be healthy, and you are, or you will already be estrogen dominant as you go through into perimenopause. You don't want more estrogen in your body. The estrogen and the fat cells, they act like sponges, they hang on to hormones, which is why obesity is linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. So if you have got excess fat, just know that you can get rid of it. You just need to understand about nutrition in more detail. Start strength training. You may never have lifted a weight in your life. You don't have to have weights even. You can use gravity and just body weight. You can do squats, you can do lunges. I know you might think, oh God, I don't want to do those. They're really boring. There are loads of other different moves you can do. You don't have to be able to do pull-ups and push-ups and all that sort of stuff. You just need to start. And people will also mention steady state cardio. And I think mistakenly, when we're talking about cardio, I'm talking about heavy duty cardio. So the stuff that really, you're really like pounding and you're pushing and your heart feels like it's about to pop out of your chest. Steady state cardio is when you go for a relatively brisk walk. That type of cardio is actually good for you because it's not spiking your cortisol levels for too long. But even if you're doing steady state cardio regularly, you still need to be doing more strength training as part of your weekly regimen. So if you're brand new to fitness, I would incorporate strength training 2 or 3 times a week just to get yourself started. Start to build some lean muscle. The more you do it, it gets highly addictive. You'll start to feel more confident. You'll feel more energized. Your hormones will start to balance. You'll start to sleep better. You'll find that as you build muscle, you're burning more calories, but also really commit to learning a bit more about nutrition. Cook your own food from home. Eat lots of vegetables. Be mindful of eating enough protein. To know how much protein you should eat, because we all need to eat more protein as we go through the menopause. Whatever your ideal body weight is in pounds, so say it's 140 pounds, you want to aim to eat between 130 and 150 grams of lean protein daily. And that can be quite a thing. Until I actually broke it down myself, it's just like, crikey, I actually need to be focusing on protein in every single meal, which I hadn't been doing beforehand. So if you want, I will link to the Powerful Proteins guide that I put together a while back. You're more than welcome to have that. It just lists the sort of top protein sources and gives you that equation again, a little bit of information about protein. And like I say, I'm hosting that 3-day free Macro Makeover group on Facebook very soon. If you miss that, still fill out the form, because you will then get the emails with the link to the workouts and all the information that I will have shared, plus the link to that free group. And I'll be able to see them when you request to join. I can still put you in there. You just won't be part of the live sessions that are the live videos that I'll be sharing in there and the live Q&As that I will be doing. But I will be hosting it regularly. So once you're in there, or you're in the email system, you will know that you're going to be getting reminders. So when I'm ready to host it again, you'll be the first to know about it. So I hope this has been helpful. If you've not yet done so, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. If you've got anything you want me to cover in a future episode about menopause, perimenopause, weight gain, getting healthier, fitter, whatever it might be, send me a message. You can find me on Instagram at Kate Hartley UK, the same on Facebook at Kate Hartley UK. The links to my Instagram account are actually down below in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. And I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you so much for your company, and I will talk to you soon.